Hello and welcome. You're watching the News at 6 with me, Ishan Russell. The News at 6 is all about the day's biggest developing stories and we'll be filling in on them over the next half hour. But first, the headlines that we're tracking right now. Heavy polling in the fifth phase of elections in West Bengal. 349 candidates, including 43 women, and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee in the fray in the seats spread across 3 districts. Supreme Court declines to reconsider order on NEET admission test for medical courses. First phase of the single entrance test to be held tomorrow. Massive fire breaks out in Uttarakhand jungles. Almost 1,500 villages at risk due to the raging blaze. And temporary truce between rebels and forces of Assad in Syria, but ceasefire will not apply to the city of Aleppo. Well, today our top focus is on the elections in West Bengal in verdict 2016. The polling for the fifth phase of elections ended a short while ago. An overall voter turnout of 72.19% was recorded until 3 p.m. in the 53 constituencies which went to the polls today. Here's a report.
Polling for the fifth and penultimate phase in West Bengal began at 7 a.m. amid tight security, with 53 of state's total 294 constituencies going to polls. An electorate of over 1.2 crore were eligible to exercise their franchise to decide the fate of 349 candidates across 3 districts in Kolkata South, South 24 Parganas and Hooghly.
Safety बढ़े, safety for all, women ही नहीं सबके लिए, और industries आनी चाहिए, और villages को develop करना है वेस्ट बंगाल का.
थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है जे हर साल एक ही होता है, यही प्रॉब्लम हो गई है. हर साल ही होता है 5 साल का अंदर, लेकिन कुछ चेंज कुछ मालूम नहीं.
बस वोट के वक्त आते हैं तब ये हो कि इलेक्शंस फेयर हो, प्रोसीजर्स फेयर हो, और फिर जो जिसको हम वोट देते हैं वो सिर्फ उसके बाद सारा साल दिखे, जो प्रॉमिसेस वो करते हैं वो इलेक्शन में वो उसको पूरा करें. तो ऐसा फिर फेथ भी होता है कि इस वोट में इलेक्शन में कुछ वोट दें.
Apart from deploying 90,000 personnel of central and state police forces, the Election Commission had ordered the presence of 2 police observers in each district to monitor the law and order situation. However, reports of violence came in from Basanti constituency in South 24 Parganas district, where 6 Revolutionary Socialist Party workers were injured in clashes with TMC workers. Reports of clashes between left and Trinamool workers were also reported in Hooghly. Center of attention in this phase is South Kolkata's Bhawanipur constituency, where Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is locked in a triangular contest with Congress heavyweight Deepadas Munshi and BJP's Chandra Bose. Other political heavyweights and key ministers in this phase include Panchayat Minister Subrata Mukherjee, Urban Development Minister Firhat Hakim, and Kolkata City Mayor Sovan Chatterjee.
Well, this is a festival of democracy, and the kind of work which the Mamata Di's government has done in Bengal for the last 4.5 years, development across the state, plus communal peace and harmony. Absolutely, Mamata Di's Trinamool Congress victory is certain, not only for the Trinamool Congress, but for the people of Bengal.
समर्थन मिल रहे भवानीपुर केंद्र का जनता के पास, ये जो स्पष्ट बता रहे ये एक सपोर्ट मिल रहे. हम देश के लिए काम करने के लिए आए हैं, भवानीपुर केंद्र की जनता के लिए काम करने के लिए आ रहे. ये काम करने का मौका भवानीपुर केंद्र की जनता हमको जरूर देंगे.
मैं कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं हूँ, मैं जानती हूँ कि टीएमसी जीत गए.
कैसे कह सकते हैं?
बीजेपी नहीं जानते हैं, आई थिंक मिस्टर राजनाथ जानते हैं, बट सीपीएम नहीं जानते हैं एंड कांग्रेस नहीं जानते हैं.
बहुत अच्छा वोट हो रहा है. इतना तो वोट हमने देखा, बहुत दिन बाद बंगाल का जनता ने इतना अच्छा वोट देखा और अच्छा से मन खुल के वोट भी दिया. कोई गुंडागर्दी नहीं है.
And let's go across to our correspondent Panchanan Mishra, who joins us live from Kolkata. Panchanan, as far as the polling is concerned, how did that go today as far as the violence or any other untoward incidents are concerned?
Yeah, Ishan, you can say that this fifth phase was almost a peaceful election in comparison to last four phases. And the heavy security deployment by Election Commission is almost a big reason behind it. You heard all the political parties what they are saying, that this time the heavy political turnout was there. Since morning we have shown the pictures. Before the polling starts at 7 a.m., there were long queues outside the polling station. This shows that people came out from the homes in spite of this heat wave conditions. They voted, and they voted for development. They voted for their rights. So this is very good sign for the democracy.
Right.
In this fifth phase also, we are expecting, the Election Commission is expecting more than 80% of vote. However, this is not.
Yes, in fact, it has already crossed 70% at about 3 o'clock. So we're waiting for the final figures to come in, Panjan. But do also tell us about the main candidates in the fray, because this is the phase. And in fact, here in Kolkata, where from Mamata Banerjee is contesting up against Deepa Dash Munshi of the Congress and Chandra Bose of the BJP. So how's that contest faring for her? Because after all, she's the candidate and her party to beat, of course, in this election.
Of course, this phase is also seen as the contest for heavyweight candidates. This is the Bhawanipur polling station where Mamata Banerjee came around 3:30 p.m. and cast her vote. This is the seat, Bhawanipur, where Mamata Banerjee, it's a native place of Mamata Banerjee. She is contesting here again. In 2011, she won from here with a very big margin. Deepa Das Munshi is a candidate from Congress CPM side, and Chandra Bose is a new candidate from BJP side. There is a very interesting contest, but Mamata Banerjee shows the victory sign, and she was looking confident. And if you can say the seats in 24 Pargana and the seats in Hubli, this is almost an urban constituencies in 53 seats. This may be very crucial for all the political parties and alliances. And the last phase, which is remaining and which will be vote on 5th of May, all the political parties are eyeing for that.
All right, Panjan, we'll leave it over there. Thank you very much for coming in and helping us with what's been happening on the ground in Kolkata over there as far as the elections are concerned. Also, now let's take a look at poll snippets in our special Poll Puri. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley released a vision document for the NDA in Kerala today. Jaitley said that the NDA wanted to end bipolar politics in the state. He also alleged that Congress and the left were natural partners in the regressive governance practiced in the state. Total prohibition was the highlight of the document. The state goes to the polls on the 16th of May. The Election Commission started scrutiny of nomination papers in Kerala today. 1,647 candidates filed nominations for 140 seats in the upcoming assembly elections on the 16th of May. Chief Minister Uman Chandi, CPIM veteran V.S. Achyutanandan and former cricketer S. Srishant are in the fray. The last day for withdrawal is the 2nd of May. In Tamil Nadu, scrutiny of papers started at 11 a.m. 7,134 nominees had filed papers for 234 constituencies. AIADMK's Jayalalita, DMK's Karunanidhi and DMDK founder Vijay Kant are some of the candidates in the fray. The Supreme Court today declined to reconsider its order directing the NEET admission test for medical courses. The first phase of the entrance test will be held tomorrow. A group of students filed a petition seeking modification of the order. The petition claimed that students will not get enough time to prepare for the test since there is a difference in the state board and the CBSE syllabus. The Supreme Court bench replied that the matter was closed since it had already been heard by another bench. The court has now asked the lawyers concerned to file an application that would be heard by a regular bench. And shocking news, almost 1,500 villages of Uttarakhand are at risk due to a raging jungle fire in the state. 3 National Disaster Response Force teams have been deployed to douse the fire.
The forests of Uttarakhand have been burning for over a week. Fire has engulfed thousands of hectares of forest area and have destroyed flora and fauna. Former Chief Minister Harish Rawat has asked the governor to declare Uttarakhand a fire disaster-stricken state.
पूरे वातावरण में चारों तरफ धुआं ही धुआं है और इससे सांस लेने में भी तकलीफ हो रही है। सारे जानवर जो है इधर-उधर भाग रहे हैं, कहीं मर रहे हैं, कहीं जल रहे हैं। अब जो जानवर बचे हुए भी हैं उनके लिए जंगलों में अब चारा, हरा चारा भी नहीं है, वो अब भूख और प्यास पानी से मरेंगे।
मकान भी जल गया, सारा सामान था वो भी जल गया, 6-7 गाय बैल थे, थोड़े सारे जल रखे।
यहाँ पे अचानक नीचे से स्कूल के पास से वहाँ से आग लगनी स्टार्ट हुई और उससे इनके लोगों के मवेशी वगैरह, मकान, झोपड़ी और जो छान थी पूरी तरह से क्षतिग्रस्त हो गई।
3 NDRF teams have been deployed to douse the flames and conduct rescue operations. The teams are posted at Almora, Pauri and Gochar in Chamoli district. Additionally, 135 personnel have been sent to the state. The governor has doubled the number of state personnel deployed to 6,000. Locals have been asked to report fire incidents to the district magistrate as soon as decided so that it can be controlled in time.
कि कुछ ऐसे एरिया हैं संवेदनशील एरिया जहाँ बार-बार आग लगती है, हर सीजन में आग लगती है, तो हमने ऐसे जितने क्षेत्र हैं उनको चिन्हित किया है और वहाँ पर हमारा ज़्यादा इसमें फोकस है, हमारा स्टाफ भी ज़्यादा उन एरियाज में ही फोकस है।
Since early February, 922 incidents of forest fires in the state have been reported, in which 5 people, including 3 women and a child, have died and 7 others have been injured. Pauri, Tehri and Nainital are the worst affected districts because they have a thick cover of cheed and sal trees which are highly inflammable. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the political war of words over the Augusta Westland VVIP chopper deal continues. Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar today said that the fundamental question at the centre of the controversy is who took the bribe. Here's a report on that.
The BJP has intensified its attack on the Congress party over the 3,600 crore rupees VVIP chopper scam. BJP has accused the Congress of trying to distract the attention of the people from the fundamental question of who were the bribe takers. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley also rebutted the Congress's theory that the company was blacklisted during UPA rule.
सबसे बड़े उसमें पैसा है कि पैसा किसने लिया है, उसका जवाब उस समय के सरकार को देना होगा, क्योंकि इटालियन हाई कोर्ट जो इक्विवेलेंट होता है उन्होंने तो स्पष्ट कहा है कि वहाँ के लोगों ने 125 करोड़ दिया है.
On the other hand, the Congress sought to corner the Modi government for allowing the tainted Augusta Westland to take part in the Make in India initiative. The party also challenged the government to come out with the truth on the deal.
Last 2 years, what they were doing, they were sleeping. Now I demand that they must speed up the CBI inquiry, they must speed up the ED inquiry and take strong action against the bribe givers as well as the bribe takers.
Meanwhile, the CBI has questioned former Deputy Air Chief J.S. Gujral in connection with its probe into the deal. Gujral was reportedly in charge of procurements when the chopper deal was being pursued. CBI has so far maintained that Gujral was questioned as a witness. There are no charges against him yet. The agency has also asked former Air Chief S.P. Tyagi to appear for questioning on Monday.
India has its own sets of laws relating to penal offences, and Italy has its own way of working as far as criminal justice system is concerned. You can't convict somebody, humiliate somebody or punish somebody on the basis of judgment of a foreign court where they may say something.
CBI had earlier registered a case against Tyagi along with 13 others, including his cousins and European middlemen in the case. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time now to take a look at what else has been making news around the country in Nationwide. The Supreme Court on Saturday decided not to extend the deadline for phasing out diesel cabs in the National Capital Region and has asked them to go off the roads for the 1st of May. The earlier deadline for phasing out diesel cabs was 1st April. Now the Apex Court has refused to extend the deadline with the argument that enough extensions were given in the past. The anti-corruption branch has raided the residences of top bureaucrats in the state of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. The ACB has confiscated assets worth a whopping 800 crore rupees in the raids. The assets have been recovered from the house of an IAS officer who serves as the Deputy Commissioner in the Tourism Department. ACB officials said several bank lockers will also be opened and searched. The Uttar Pradesh police has rescued 5 children from the clutches of human traffickers. The children are all residents of Fazil Nagar village in the West Champaran district of Bihar. Police took action on the basis of the information provided by a local NGO. Time for us to take a short break. Lots more on the other side. Do stay tuned.
Hello and welcome to Sabha TV. You're watching Constitutionally Yours.
There are countries after countries which are completely abolishing death sentences.
At some point of time, there has to be some kind of a check and an accountability.
It is misconception that these privileges and etc. are not regulated.
Is there a limit as to the number of times a mercy petition can be filed in a particular case?
There should be no limit of filing application mercy petitions.
Join us as we try to understand contemporary issues related to the Constitution. Watch Constitutionally Yours on Rajya Sabha television.
Hello and welcome to India's World.
They have no sense of institutional memory as far as, relations with countries are concerned.
The ability of the Chinese to inflict the damage on you today, unfortunately, is far more.
The government felt that it was high time that we sent some signals to China in the wake of their constant slapping on our face that they do.
Watch experts debate Uyghur visa issue in India's World on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching the news at 6. Now, President Pranab Mukherjee today invited New Zealand investors and entrepreneurs to participate in the Make in India initiative. The president has also pitched for closer ties with New Zealand. He said that the region has gained even greater salience in New Delhi's strategic thinking and economic engagement over the past few years. The president, who arrived in the country on a maiden 3-day visit, spoke about the importance attached by India to the Pacific region. Mukherjee is the first Indian president to travel to New Zealand, was received by officials at the airport. He was later accorded a ceremonial reception at the Governor-General's house, which included a traditional rubbing of nose gently with New Zealand's Governor General Sir Jerry Matape. The Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and his Japanese counterpart Fumio Kishida held talks in Beijing on Saturday in a bid to relieve tensions between the two countries. The tensions have sparked a period of mistrust between the world's second and third largest economies. The meet is being seen as a good sign towards improving bilateral ties, with this being the first visit by a Japanese foreign minister to China in 4.5 years.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and Japanese Foreign Minister Fumio Kishida held a round of talks in Beijing. Kishida is on an official visit to China, the first by a Japanese foreign minister in 4.5 years. China hoped Kishida's visit will play a positive role in actual improvement of China-Japan ties.
波折不断，一再陷入低谷。其中原因，我想日方自己最清楚。近来日方多次提出愿意改善两国关系，你也表示愿意为此迈出第一步。如果是真心诚意而来。
Wang stressed that China-Japan ties must be based on respect for history, adherence to commitment and on cooperation rather than confrontation. Wang also expressed sympathy with Japan over the deadly earthquakes in mid-April.
听其言，观其行。今天我愿听取外长你对如何改善中日关系的意见，但同时。 要看日方能否真正的落实到行动。
大切な隣国同士である日本と中国のこの外務大臣の往来がこうして長きにわたって途絶えているということは望ましいことではありません。ぜひより頻繁に往来ができる関係に戻していきたいと考えています。
The visit comes against the backdrop of simmering tensions between the countries over the sovereignty of some islands in the East China Sea for almost 4 years now. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The fighting continues in Syria's Aleppo for the 9th straight day. At least 20 airstrikes hit rebel-held areas on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Syrian army has said that they will observe partial truce with the rebels for a day, but it will not be applicable in Aleppo. Here's more.
Heavy fighting between rebels and Assad forces in Aleppo. Thick smoke engulfed the Syrian city as a barrage of rockets hit on Saturday. Nearly 250 civilians were killed in the past week. There was a temporary relief as the Syrian army declared it will observe a regime of calm, a partial truce with rebels in areas other than Aleppo. It started from Friday midnight and will last 24 hours. In Latakia province, it will last 72 hours.
حلب قديمة وأدى إلى استشهاد رجل وامرأة وأطفال ومرأة لسه عايشة تحت الأنقاض.
The White House assured that the US and Russia are working to restore an agreement to end the hostilities. Early on Friday, UN Chief Ban Ki-moon also held talks with UN envoy for Syria, Staffan de Mistura.
The US government and Russia have been working to secure a general recommitment to the cessation of hostilities by all parties in Latakia and eastern Ghouta to be implemented beginning at midnight tonight Damascus time. It's our view that this essentially would be a refreshment of the cessation of hostilities.
The war is expected to increase the number of refugees from Syria. Residents of the ancient city of Palmyra are still on streets, unable to return home due to damaged infrastructure. Palmyra was completely destroyed by Islamic State militants before Assad forces took it back. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
A helicopter carrying workers from an oil platform in the mainland crashed off the Hordaland coast in Norway on Friday, killing suspectedly up to 13 people. 2 people were still missing when rescue operations stopped on Friday afternoon. The helicopter was carrying 2 pilots and 11 passengers and was flying to the city of Bergen. The victims were employed by different companies but were all working for Norway-based energy company Statoil. The crash took place 50 minutes into the flight with 10 minutes remaining in the landing in Bergen on the mainland. Statoil has temporarily grounded all traffic helicopters to its platforms. Hordaland is about 250 miles west of Oslo, the Norwegian capital. Some more international news now in Global Buzz. A South African court says corruption charges against President Jacob Zuma will be reviewed. The court ruled that he should face almost 800 corruption charges that were dropped in 2009. However, President Jacob Zuma denies all the allegations, which were dropped shortly before the election in which he became president. North Korea's ruling Workers' Party will hold its first Congress in nearly 40 years next month. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is expected to finally formalize his own succession and set out his agenda in the Congress. The government of Panama has established a committee of independent experts to make recommendations on cleaning up the country's financial system. The move comes after the leak of documents from Panamanian law firm Mossack Fonseca, causing an uproar internationally over illegal offshore accounts. President Juan Carlos Varela called for the review of the leak suggested rich foreigners were using accounts to hide their illegal wealth. Cambodia's passenger trains resumed a regular weekend service on Saturday after remaining suspended for years. The train and railway were almost totally destroyed by a war more than 40 years ago. Prime Minister Hun Sen climbed aboard to inaugurate the first trip. Time now for all the sports action in Sports Beat. Ace Indian shuttler Saina Nehwal crashed out of the Asia Badminton Championship at Wuhan in China today. She lost to China's Wang Yihan 16-21, 14-21 in the semi-final. Indian athlete Sudha Singh qualified for the Rio Games after winning the silver in the women's 3,000-meter steeplechase on the penultimate day of the Federation Cup National Athletics Championships in Delhi. Athletics Federation of India officials confirmed that she will compete in the 3,000-meter steeplechase in Rio and not in the marathon race. Indian boxing sensation Vijender Singh will compete with his French opponent Matheus Roya in a super middleweight contest at Stratford's Cooper Box Arena today. Vijender has promised another knockout show, but his unbeaten run will be put through a tough challenge as he faces his most experienced opponent to date. Vijender has won all his 4 bouts via technical knockout in under 3 rounds. Venezuela's Jonathan Vegas shot a number 3 under 69 to grab a share of the clubhouse lead after the second round of the rain-delayed Zurich Classics of New Orleans on Friday. Vegas is tied with American Jamie Lovemark at 11 under as the second round of the US PGA Tour event was suspended because of darkness. Well, that's all from us. Goodbye.
Art arisen from a multi-hued cultural canvas.